Kate Middleton's silent struggles, Prince William's private support revealed. She stands perfectly composed, always smiling, always steady, the future queen who never falters. But behind that calm exterior was a struggle few ever saw, and the only person who truly knew was Prince William. This is not a story of weakness. It is a story of endurance, and the quiet partnership that held everything together. From the moment Catherine Middleton stepped into the royal world, silence became part of her role. Not silence as absence, but silence as discipline. She learned early that survival inside the monarchy depended not on speaking, but on restraint. Kate was watched long before she was married, followed, judged, labeled. For nearly a decade, she lived in a public waiting room, unsure if the life she was preparing for would ever fully arrive. That uncertainty shaped her. It made her cautious. It made her strong. But it also planted the seeds of a private emotional burden. When she finally became Duchess of Cambridge, the world assumed the hardest part was over. The wedding was over, the title secured, the fairy tale complete. In truth, the pressure had only just begun. Kate entered an institution that does not adapt easily to outsiders. Protocol is inherited, not explained. Expectations are unspoken. Approval is rarely expressed. Mistakes are remembered longer than successes. Every movement she made was scrutinized. Her posture, her expressions, her clothing, her silence was praised, but only when it aligned with expectation. The moment she stepped outside that invisible line, commentary sharpened. Behind palace walls, Kate was learning a new language. One built on hierarchy, tradition, and emotional restraint. She had to master it while being endlessly visible, yet personally unseen. William watched this closely. Unlike others, he recognized the cost. He had lived it as a child. He had seen what public pressure did to his mother. And he understood that Kate's strength was being quietly spent. In the early years of marriage, Kate's role was relentless. Engagements, tours, expectations to appear effortless while learning everything in real time. She smiled through exhaustion. She adapted without complaint. But silence, when prolonged, begins to weigh. There were moments when Kate felt the loss of her former self. The simplicity, the privacy, the ability to move through the world unnoticed. That loss was never dramatic. It was gradual, and it was isolating. Motherhood intensified everything. Kate wanted something different for her children. Emotional presence, stability, protection from the very pressures she was now carrying. Balancing that desire with royal duty created constant tension. There were days when she questioned whether she was doing enough. As a mother, as a royal, as a partner, the expectations never aligned neatly. Excelling in one area often felt like failure in another. Publicly, she never wavered. Privately, the weight accumulated. This is where William's role becomes essential. William is often described as reserved, but with Kate, he is deeply attentive. He noticed the signs others missed. The fatigue behind her eyes. The hesitation before engagements. The way her energy shifted after intense periods of public exposure. His support was not loud. It was deliberate. He adjusted schedules. He insisted on family time. He protected her from unnecessary appearances when he sensed strain. These decisions were rarely explained to the public. They were framed as routine. But insiders say they were intentional acts of care. William understands silence. He understands what it costs. There were moments when Kate struggled with the expectation of perfection. She was praised for being flawless, yet never allowed to be human. The contradiction was exhausting. William reminded her that she did not need to perform for him. Their private conversations became anchors. Late nights, quiet reassurances, honest admissions of doubt and fatigue. These were not signs of weakness. They were moments of recalibration. Still, the pressure did not disappear. Kate's role expanded. Her influence grew. With it came a new level of scrutiny. When she stepped back from certain appearances, speculation surged. Rumors filled the absence of information. What the public did not see was a woman protecting her emotional reserves. Kate has always believed in preparation. In doing things properly, she does not rush. When she withdrew, it was not avoidance. It was preservation. William stood beside her decision. This support was not without cost. Every boundary William enforced created tension with tradition. But he chose partnership over protocol. Again and again, Insiders say this is where their marriage differs fundamentally from those before them. They do not sacrifice each other for the institution. They negotiate with it. Kate's silent struggles also include identity. She has always been described in relation to others. William's wife, the future queen, the stabilizing force, rarely as herself. That erasure is subtle but profound. William encourages her independence. He supports her initiatives not as obligations, but as expressions of her values. Her work on early childhood development is deeply personal. It reflects her understanding of emotional foundations, of unseen struggles, of quiet resilience. This work gave her purpose beyond appearances. Still, there were days when the emotional toll felt heavy. Royal life does not allow public vulnerability. There are no pauses, no explanations. Grief, fatigue, and doubt must be managed privately. Kate learned to compartmentalize, but William ensured she was never alone within that compartment. He shielded her from harsh criticism when possible. He reframed narratives internally. He reminded her that public perception is temporary, but family is permanent. This perspective matters. William's greatest fear has always been repeating history, losing someone he loves to an institution that demands everything. His private support of Kate is his way of rewriting that story. Their bond has deepened through these silent struggles. They have learned to communicate without performance, to support without spectacle, to choose each other in small, consistent ways. Kate's composure is not a mask. It is a discipline, and behind that discipline is a partnership that allows her to endure. The public may never fully understand the cost of that endurance, but those closest to them recognize the balance they have created. Kate is not fragile, she is resilient, and William's support is not dramatic. It is constant. That constancy is the real story, because behind the polished appearances and measured words is a relationship built on awareness, on shared memory, on a mutual promise to protect what matters most. Kate's silent struggles did not weaken her. They shaped her, and William's private support did not save her. It stood beside her.